That's right. This is Super Metroid, the map Rando, the tournament. Main character Eddie bring this all together. Today facing off against Tilimorf as their seeding and progression through the tournament has dictated. I am Aussie101, on commentary here with NN Tracking and Derp, also commentary.
Hey, that's me. Big shout out to NN, by the way. I believe he is doing tracking for all of the races today.
Oh yeah. Look at the schedule. It's a wall of NN.
It's all NN. Well, looks like we are off. This is game one of the best of three. And I believe this is Eddie's category pick. Picked Gravity 9+1, which I have some thoughts about, but just to start off, I'll say I do think that this is a mode that favors the more experienced player, which, as you may expect, Eddie is definitely the more experienced in pretty much any race he does in Map Rando, I would say.
Yeah, all the different categories kind of like test different things. So like what kind of experience you have plays a different role depending on the mode. Gravity 9+1, it's going to benefit your ability to move fast because you can pretty much do every room, and you can afford to like save time by spending health to just go fast.
Yeah, Eddie not going the fastest at the moment. Actually took a reset. Had to go get this missile again at the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tilimorf is no slouch either. I think one of the more underrated runners. He's been around the rando scene for a long time, and I think this is going to be a very fun race.
Absolutely. Tilimorf has been having a good showing recently. So playing really strongly. Then Eddie, #1 seed. So expect top level play for him and just in this match.
Runner's getting an early speed booster as well. Gonna be nice for potentially checking these out of reach Mount Everest portals, like the top one that is accessible with just gravity, but a little bit tricky.
Yeah, if you remember a vanilla map, if you're going through Meridia, the rooms just take so long if you don't have any kind of movement at all. And speed is one of the really strong movement items for crossing big rooms like Everest.
Yeah, of course, Eddie also actively working on a low percent vanilla grind, so maybe a bit more comfortable with these rooms without speed, but it's got the speed booster anyways, so.
Yep, not the low speed, low percent. Just low ice.
Still haven't found anywhere good to go, it looks like. Tilly checking the top right, just finding a dead end and a save.
Oh, here's an item, Main Street.
This seems more promising.
Charge. There's our Morph Ball. Okay.
Morph Ball definitely going to open up a lot of things. Still looking for... There's some bombs. Hopefully they can get that as well.
Yep.
Still looking for
worth picking up.
Power bombs. That looks like what's blocking access to the wreck ship map. Or the Criteria map, rather. They're in wreck ship just now, in this main street.
Yeah, Eddie getting a little lucky on the fish farm. Needed an extra missile to go through the pink door.
I don't know what the fish drops are, but they aren't good.
Not good. Yeah, I guess in settings like this, where you're running around with one missile pack, you can feel like it'll speed you up to spend a missile to kill an enemy, like perhaps the crab at the bottom of Main Street. But then you don't have the 5 that you need to open a door.
Right, Eddie showing off those tight wall jumps to, or morph out of a wall jump, I should say, to get that bombs without having to do a gravity jump. Tilly just gonna go straight for the turning off the suit. Getting over there real nice. That is a big crab hit though.
Doesn't want to take the damage on the return.
Don't blame him at all. We got a bit of time. I believe I mentioned this was Eddie's category pick. Eddie chose Tilly to be the first ban. Tilly banned the Varia and Water Movement category, and Eddie banned Metroid's No MB2. So our Game 2 and potentially Game 3 categories will be No Objectives and Double Suits.
I guess we'll see which game mode Tilimorf prefers in Game 2, which is right after this.
It's kind of funny. I feel like both of those categories are like the Game 3 deciders for a lot of people. So it's interesting that we could potentially see both.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really bad Metroid seeds. So people seem to want to ban that one now.
It is an interesting, probably the most out there category in the tournament. So makes sense. Tilly is farming for a missile, but these the sofas are not playing nice. I think they have a pretty bad missile drop rate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the seeds so far, it's between these low drop missile farms and green doors everywhere. That's the experience the runners are having 5 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, Eddie's going back down. Probably going to check that top right of Everest. I don't remember exactly what it was for Tilly, but he did turn back, so... Okay, finally gets a missile, by the way.
Yep, top right was a save.
And that missile door is not going to lead us anywhere.
Yeah, seems like you just have to backtrack from here. Oh, it continued. Well, doable.
Yep. Nice little bomb jump over the...
I really see this.
It's an interesting bomb jump. You actually, to get over it, you have to not be holding a direction and then hold right, or hold left in this case, going back at the top of your bomb jump. If you just hold the direction the whole way through the jump, then it doesn't get you over the enemy.
Yeah, it's like it pushes you up at just the wrong amount somehow. You can also bomb from a distance, and that works too.
Yep, a few different ways to do it, but it is in hard logic, so
yeah,
important to know.
It's not hard to do, you just need to know the trick. And even if you don't know the trick, you can try it over and over.
I'd say that about most tricks in hard logic. They aren't too hard, but there are a lot of knowledge checks that you just need to play a lot of map rando to know. Fortunately, these runners have done just that.
Yep, play through a seed, maybe not know what to do, look at the spoiler log, and that'll guide you.
Tilly finds himself in Meridia. I didn't see exactly how he got here.
Yeah. Like, we found grapple, but I don't see how that could be helpful.
Yeah, I would assume that's a filler item in a gravity start seed. I'm not really sure what else it would open. I guess it could open, like, if they find space jump or high jump, it could open pants room.
Pants room, yeah. That's a possibility.
But it wouldn't open pants room with just this equipment.
Yeah. So the thing to know about half of these modes, that's the ones that give you a starting suit, is they're going to open up a lot of item check locations really quickly compared to if you didn't start with anything. And that means the area that you have to check is going to be so much larger than in normal seed. And the progression placement is tied to that. So
yeah, both of the runners in completely different areas, and either of them could be the logical progression. Just a little bit scary to race, but we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. And that's why I don't like the starting suits modes. Metroids and no objectives, they play more like traditional seeds, at least for the early game. And then the decision making is more tied to the end game.
I tend to agree with that in general. I know a a lot of people who play more traditional rando, who have a lot of experience with that, like this mode specifically, because you get to do a lot of things you would do, a lot of suitless things that you would do in traditional randos, because you just have so many tanks, so you're able to like pretty easily do a Ridley if you get some supers, do a Mother Brain if you've got the beam. Because you start the game, unlike basically any other category, you start the game with everything but ammo you need to beat the game, because you have so much energy. So it makes your decisions very interesting. Eddie finally finds those power bombs. We're still looking for supers on both sides, but those power bombs are going to open a lot, especially that bottom right door in Mount Everest that seems to be leading towards the map.
Yeah, as soon as you get your like each type of ammo, you can really do whatever you want in these suits. But it could be very funneled into where exactly the only available item is. Like as far as we know, that might be the only power bomb.
He is really winning out on these missile finds, by the way. So he's still running around with 5 and is not going to be able to open that door as a result. It's a shame, because there's a couple majors over there. Does have a semi-recent save, at least in this area.
Yeah, Mother Brain spotted.
Also useful information, though not that useful at the moment.
Yeah, that looks like it leads directly to the map. The Everest store. So that'd be a good choice for next places to go.
It seems like the obvious next decision for Eddie. He has already seen a lot of criteria, though, so we'll see how much info the map actually gives him.
But looking at the state of things, it seems that Eddie is in a stronger position right now, having power bombs and just more ability to go through, to traverse the world.
Nice little short charge to get up. Had a few options to get up, actually. Could have bomb jumped or grappled across, excuse me.
We're going to the left when the map is to the right.
Is it? That's interesting.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Ignore that I said anything.
So Tilly can get both of those majors, I believe, past the key stairs.
I think one of them might have been Pantene, right, Supers?
Was
the
it?
other one's a health check. So Kraid.
I believe Kraid and Dragon were there.
Yeah, Tilly going through the climb here, just resources so low. Hasn't run into any extra missile packs, so keeps running out of missiles. And then after the big heat run, health is also low.
There's a nice refill up here, at least. Yeah, this is looking like...
Yeah.
You can see Tilly's reaction. Not happy about that. That's a pretty common mistake. I think a lot of people have done that in this tournament. Gone up to a major only to find out it is Phantoon locked. Can't technically get out with a Crystal Flash, but...
recognize some of the rooms. That's one of the ones... It kind of looks similar to a couple of others, so... Continue to mistake it. But this other major that Tilly is about to run into, this is gettable. We're in double chamber.
Yep. Not a great major, though. It is just a wave beam.
Looks like Eddie's found another map. Gonna check for Phantoon here. Parlor.
Are there no X's or hollows? Okay, there's one X in this entire area that Tilly's in. The rest of it is just like a few missiles and 2 majors, one of which is not even gettable.
It's pretty unlikely that this wave beam, like you would expect it to be the only progression at this point. But it's what he's found after all this time. So
Yeah.
follow it.
Can Tilly even get to the X all the way at the bottom left of this area?
Probably not. But I didn't get a good look.
I didn't either. That's why I asked.
There's a power bomb door in the general area down there. Pretty friendly feint again.
Yeah, some good Dopplers, but no supers made it a little bit awkward to finish the fight.
And as we know, Fantoon is going to be connected with the room in the middle to the Wreckship map station, the Paradox map station. And that means Eddie has access to another map. Gonna reveal all of Norfair. X's, majors. So everything he could want right here.
Yeah, this seems to be the place to be.
As soon as he runs into a super pack, there's pretty much no more like rooms that he can't go through. So that's kind of the priority item right now, is a super pack rather than the majors. But probably just gonna get everything.
Yeah, we're still fairly early on progression-wise. No reason to not grab everything accessible. We'll see which sandpit Eddie wants to go down, actually. Wait, no, hold on. Can he get back from either of them?
There's a super door there, but there's also a
Yeah.
save at the top. So you
Would
can
need a
risk it.
super to be... Oh, there's Ridley. So we actually know full boss knowledge now
Oh,
across the 2 runners. Eddie has all 4 G4 bosses until he knows Mother Brain. Not exactly an even trade of knowledge, but that's what we have at the moment.
Yeah, the other thing we have is Tilly on 1 missile pack still. No supers, no power bombs. So, things not looking too great. As Eddie's collecting everything he needs.
Saw this item was a super earlier. Decided to wait to grab it until after grabbing those, or the major at above him.
So there's a major to the left and a Brinstar to the left.
Looks like he'll be going to the sandpit first, and then potentially going to that last major in Bryn afterwards. See if he wants to save scum it, potentially check the major, and then if it's bad, go in the other sandpit, hope for a double X.
I think you'd want the X to also be bad with the bad major.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Phaser.
I would probably grab that Spazer.
I would too.
Okay, Eddie is as well.
Yeah, Spazer's pretty good for just clearing random enemies.
I think that was for the reset. Like, Eddie checked the
Yeah.
X first, and if that was bad, he was going to reset. Not have to bother grabbing either item.
Yep, certainly doesn't need any more power bombs from here. They already have morph bombs. Tilimorf. Was able to
Tilly?
make it to Norfair. Interesting.
Blinded into this sandpit, actually. Unfortunately, unless this other X, or this other item is a super,
Right.
it's going to be stuck, as we know.
So
I guess
Tilly can reach the save room in Aqueduct, but not the middle door. And that makes the blind sandpits make more sense. But then, as you said, power bombs doesn't get you out through the green door.
Yeah, we'll see how much exploring Tilly does down here. The hope is that he just hits the green door and resets, goes in the other sand pit. That'll get him his supers. He'll be able to wrap around and do the other sand pit, and then get those power bombs. But
yeah, gonna go to the right first. I think it's plasma over here, but no real items.
yeah, there's plasma. There's technically a way back, but it's back through amphitheater, which with how much health you lose in acid in map rando without the varia, not totally sure if it's doable, even with this much energy. Especially not without any movement items, aside from the speed.
This is a lot of energy.
It is a lot of energy, though. Oh, Tilly just jumps right in. Is he going to... Yeah, it's going to reset. It's a good thing he's doing this, but this is actually kind of a hard decision to make. There's a Varia suit, by the way, so I think they're extra cozy for Eddie now.
Cozy from here. Probably gonna go for ammo now. Major's a little bit less valuable at this point.
There was an X a little bit out of the way, over towards Brinstar. I would assume Eddie's going for that, because I believe that path also leads to Bryn.
So one thing that Varia does is it lets you fight Ridley with power bombs. So you have like more ammo options for doing the fight. And Mother Brain's not in the area, so you can you have time to look for your Mother Brain answer just later somewhere else. That doesn't look too far from that.
Yep. Surely the elevator will be nice.
So I think things work out for Tilimorf. I think he can run into power bombs over here. But
You can also just go back into the sand pit. Grab the other
I
one.
don't think he can get back to Aqueduct though. I believe it connects at the power bomb lock door.
Oh, you're right. But there are power bombs here, like you said.
Yeah.
Also, a lot more missiles, which Tilly is honestly grateful to see at this point.
Oh yeah. 20 minutes in, you can pick up extra missiles now.
So the best case for Tilly, by the way, is that he goes back, instead of going to Bryn, like Eddie's in right now, he goes back to Criteria and gets that map, because that will give him full boss knowledge from there, because he knows where Mother Brain is, while Eddie does not yet.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if it will be
Tilimorf
enough
would.
to make up the difference, but that would be the best case for Tilly, I believe.
That's how he'd be able to use the Mother Brain information.
Yeah. I mean, the question then would be, how do you get enough ammo to actually beat the game? I don't know if there's a great answer. You're really, like, hoping for a charge behind... the red supers that you saw by my Mother Brain. Excuse me.
That'd be a gamble.
That would definitely be a gamble. There are a couple of areas. Wreckship and Turian are both connected to Meridia, where Mother Brain is, so... in theory, you could dip into those to look for ammo or majors, but... again, that eats into more time. You're doing more things that Eddie probably isn't going to have to do at that point.
Base jump. So Tilimorf did have the option of scouting the right supers item. It did have a save right at the bottom of climb. It could have just gone right back up and sacked for the info. That's a play I've seen a couple of runners to do. Because if it is charged, you could just finish with it.
It'd be pretty big knowledge. And also would incentivize Tilly to go back towards Criteria, because that's towards the Mother Brain. And he wants to go that way for charge anyways. But that might be a little bit getting ahead of ourselves. Eddie, meanwhile, has done everything he wants in Bryn, which included skipping a lot of X's, actually. I only went for that one major, which was Space Jump.
Yeah, actually, quite a bit of heat on the way to Ridley. So, I guess kind of useful that they're going to be running into Varia, very likely.
Nice double missile here. There's a few X's over here by Kraid, and a couple majors, potentially.
Worth mentioning that X's have a higher chance of being supers, and we're really only looking for 30 supers to finish the game. So 4 more supers on Eddie's side, 5 more.
Don't care about those. Yeah, with this many missiles for Eddie, you can definitely get away with only having 25 supers. Potentially, if he keeps finding missiles, could get away with 20.
And it's just going to keep lowering the value of the majors, like the more ammo you pick up, because you're committing yourself more to the ammo finish.
Yeah, which is a pretty big feature of this mode. Those majors really aren't valuable once you start getting ammo because you don't really need them for anything. Just need ammo to beat the seed with what you start with once you get Morph, basically. There's another... Was that a super or a power bomb? I didn't see.
I didn't see either, but it must have been a power bomb. Got it. Never make a guess. Chat's saying super.
Okay, I knew he had a lot of power bombs already. So we actually get a nice double super. Let's see if Eddie wants this bonus missile over by the spring ball. The missile being more valuable than the spring ball itself at this point.
Yep, for sure.
So Tilly has his Varia suit. He is going to Bryn, though.
Kind of just following what Eddie's been doing. And I guess that's is just how the map plays out. Like, you can find out about Mother Brain early, but then you're just sent down here anyway.
Yeah, and if you take out the Meridia detour, Tilly would actually have gotten things a lot faster. Didn't really do much in Criteria. Actually ended up blinding the Norfair connector. Whereas Eddie basically full explored Criteria, finally got the power bombs to get the map, and then went to Norfair. So in theory, that blind could have been really good for Tilly, but unfortunately spending 10-15 minutes up by Meridia with 5 missiles and not being able to get anything of value. It's not been very helpful for Tilly's chances in this race.
Yeah, there's kind of too many seeds. Like, there's not many, but there's too many, where there's like very few progression ammos out in the world, and you see people you see runners do everything that's possible except for find the 1 or 2 items.
See if Tilly does the same thing, where he just goes for that major down in Bryn Reserve and then leaves.
Yeah, this is Killable Dragon. We can do it in a way that conserves ammo. Nope.
Eddie did a little pause, so Dragon came at a slightly different time than he might have been ready for.
Because after Dragon, you head to Ridley and just take care of Ridley. And you're going to need to refill ammo by then. And then continue searching for Mother Brain.
Yep. got the bad frame.
The gig suit.
Tilly actually going for an ice clip to save a power bomb. Did not quite get it though.
That's something that I do a lot. I go for that ice clip. There's a pretty decent visual cue for it. It's a slow-moving enemy, and you do get to save a power bomb.
It's basically like right after it starts turning to crawl up. There's a lot of heated rooms on the way to Ridley. That Various suit is going to come in.
Yeah, Three Musketeers,
lot
Lava
of handy.
Dive, maybe worst terms there. Ridley itself.
Thought I saw Wasteland, but it's probably worst room, or not worst room. Three Musketeers.
Till he doesn't have the criteria map yet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He blinded into the Norfair that had the good stuff for him. But unfortunately is now going to have to go all the way back for that criteria map. And then have to come all the way back for this grade that's over here. Gonna blind into the super right here. That's nice. There was our worst room. Here's our lava dive on Eddie's side.
I guess.
Another heated room. Pretty slow one too.
I guess we could even compare the early game exploration, where Eddie was running into missile pack after missile pack. Tilimorf wasn't even collecting that. And that's how Eddie has this 20 missile lead as they're trying to scrounge up enough ammo to finish the game.
Tilly blinded basically everything but Kraid that was over here. It's a little bit unlucky.
I'm gonna post some links in the chat. Follow the runners, you can follow the crew, because I want to look at the challenge bracket we have here. Winners round 3 match.
Eddie did not enter this fight with full ammo. He's gonna have to use a few power bombs. Used 3. I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
He knows what he's doing.
I have faith. Looks like he's good.
Even if he doesn't, this is a lot of E-tanks to go through before there's a problem.
Yeah, also a lot of power bombs. I'm actually kind of surprised Eddie is still using power bombs. I thought Ridley changed color before Eddie reached 15 supers. Still went for a couple power bombs at the end just to be safe. Maybe missed one that I didn't notice. It's actually a farm right behind Ridley. If Eddie wanted to take that. I think his trek back is going to take him by the ship though. So I might be counting on that to refill the ammo.
There were questions in chat about the tournament structure. So we're in the gold bracket here. So we have double elimination on the gold bracket. This is the higher side. So no one's taken a loss yet in a best of 3. That means whoever loses here just goes to the loser bracket, still in gold. But there's also a silver bracket and a bronze bracket for this tournament. And the bronze bracket is going to be made up of the runners who are knocked out right away. They're just going to be sent into their own tournament structure, play against themselves. And we'll know most of who's going to be in that after this week's matches.
I believe there are 15 players going down to the bronze bracket, and 24 to
Yeah.
silver.
Yep,
Is
exactly.
that right? And of course, the top 8 in the gold bracket will see their tournament end here. In the top part of the bracket. So if you're reaching top 8, you're already playing a fair amount of races.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the idea. Don't want anyone to get knocked out too early and not get to like participate in the tournament.
Totally getting the bad news now. That has to go all the way back for Kraid. But there are a couple X's there. Actually gonna see a bit of a high five here. Maybe. Not quite.
And he missed it. Could have happened.
Another refill right here too. Better than going to the ship. It's just right on path.
Yeah, pretty much just needs one more super pack. You know. I'm not gonna think about how numbers work, but we're pretty much there with one super.
Yeah, 70-25 is exactly enough. You might want like another missile or two just to be safe, but Eddie has had the option to grab a couple missiles on the way and hasn't been doing it, so might just be going with the minimum.
He's not playing safe.
Not playing safe.
Also
That's an
doesn't know
interesting
how
freeze
close
on the
it is.
over there through the block.
Yeah, Spazer does some funky things. Confirmation, Spore Spawn Supers was supers. And I guess that would be the only one that Tilimorf didn't have. No? X-ray.
Tilly now has to go all the way back to Norfair for Ridley.
Yeah, I guess Tilimorf couldn't get this map in rank ship because it didn't have power bombs.
He had
No, but
bombs. I believe he did get the wreck ship map. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh?
Maybe not. Actually, no, you're right. He definitely didn't. Just hit Meridia and then nice vanilla. Of course, Tilly did basically everything but the map and the X-ray.
Yep, wreck ship area, known for being the smallest area.
Well, up to Meridia we go. Eddie gonna find that map and then surely there's... Actually, wait, this area kind of sucked. There was the one X real far away, and then a couple majors. So...
Yeah, the
yeah,
one
unless...
X right at the bottom, behind a big loop.
Unless
Missiles, I guess.
There are a few missiles, but Tilly wasn't really getting those either. So unless that right super item is charged, Eddie's might have to... might be in a bit of trouble.
I guess Tilly knows how bad Meridia is, so could spend more time here picking up supers.
Yeah, there's an X over there in Batoni tank that Tilly's gonna go for.
Oh, pays off. Of course, Eddie gonna have no trouble at all with key stairs. berry suit. Just gonna walk through all the key hunters.
Well, when you can do it.
Yeah.
No reason not to, right?
So Torian.
Gets the info.
So
Also
the
gets
double
the info
chamber
that...
item was wave, but we didn't get to see right supers at the top here.
Correct. What did Eddie do to wake up the planet, by the way? Is it, I think it was Metal Pirates, actually. I think that was on the way to Bryn.
Yeah, so it was either Metal Pirates or Pit Pirates or Mini Crade, and it was not Plasma Pirates. One of those three.
Eddie's shaking his head at this map. This area is rough. Even worse for Tilly having to go here first. But we'll see if this item here bails Eddie out. And it did. That is the charge. There weren't that many items left. I believe it was just high jump, screw, plasma charge, so 1 and 4. Not that unreasonable to get bailed out there, but again, it's more bad news for Tilly, who didn't opt to check it when he was there the first time and is now fully on the ammo hunt, knowing that there's nothing ammo-wise in Meridia.
Right, and this means that Eddie just gonna finish the siege right here.
Yep. Got both suits, got the charge, plenty of health, even with half of it missing. Missile got blocked, but that's okay. So the missiles are higher DPS on Mother Brain than this beam combo. Will deal 300 while you can shoot 6 missiles a second for a total of 600 DPS.
Yep, super is far and away the best DPS. This is gonna be about twice as good as your beam here. Only so much to say about this Mother Brain fight.
Oh, it was still going. That's a really late catch-up. But Eddie did avoid it.
Mother Brain certainly has some surprise catch-ups that can get you if you're not paying attention. I don't know. So going into game 2, Tilimorf still on the way to Ridley, but maybe not gonna feel so good about this finish time that Eddie's putting up.
Yeah, and I don't even think Tilly played the seed poorly, given how far behind he's going to finish behind Eddie. Just the early game didn't work out. Heading to Meridia, that was basically completely barren. The only useful item he couldn't get to, and the only boss was not really that helpful to know about this early.
Yeah, big problem was in the early game. They probably also had some issues with, not issues, but not optimal routing of criteria. Had to cross it a few times. It happens.
It does happen, especially in these faster modes. You know, a lot of people like to hate on no objectives for being the random mode, but like you said, in these modes with a lot of starting equipment, there's so much available to you at the beginning, especially in a seed like this where Morph was really early. And so there's a lot of room to just do the wrong thing for a pretty long time, like Tilly did.
Bit of a long escape here. Still
Yeah,
two
we have to
ways
go all the way through Meridia, all the way through Rick's ship, and a good amount through Criteria, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess most of it is like you came from that direction, so you can, for the most part, follow your path.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a full backtrack, and I think Eddie's done a good job, hasn't paused yet in the escape that I've seen. Well, there's one. Just double checking where the Criteria connector is. I didn't see where Tilly got an extra super on Eddie, by the way, but it's up to 25. Not that it's
There's the
gonna matter much at this point.
Super.
Sorry, where was it?
There's the Batu tank super.
Oh, that's right. Because Eddie didn't bother with anything in Bryn after the major.
That's why I was lucky that he ran to charge. Leave behind supers.
The luck on this guy.
It would have been interesting to see how he would have done. He actually need to make up a little bit more ammo.
Yeah, I think Eddie still would have been in a fairly comfortable lead.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the Turian area, actually. We never saw Turian, so it's possible that was just as barren, and then if Eddie decided to do that, instead of scrounging up every scrap in Meridia, then things could have actually gotten pretty close. But as it is, Eddie is going to finish in first with an official time of 46:40. Tilly going to take the forfeit and move on. Game 2.
Hey, SpeedGaming. We're back for Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Eddie and Tilimorf. We have kept Aussie, we've kept NN, and we've switched out to Draki Lizard. Here with me now for this no objectives race we're racing. So welcome.
Thank you, Aussie. Yeah, I'm spelling derp on the lunch break right now, so to speak, and I had just caught the tail end of the first game where Eddie was escaping, so I'm eager to see how the no objectives race goes. As I understand, Tilimorf selected no objectives. I was talking about it in the setup room previously, how it goes both ways. I've heard both sides of it when it comes to no objectives from the so-called the higher tier of players, considering that someone can find what they need really quickly and go straight to Mother Brain. So it'll be interesting to see how Eddie adjusts to this, knowing that this might be a short version or a short race compared to some of the other modes. And I just have to say before I toss it back to Aussie, Tilimorf has probably what I think is one of the best sprites that we've seen in these randomizers.
Oh, well, speaking about the sprite, when SMZ3 had first added custom sprites, I ran this one a lot because I thought it was the best of the batch. We get an early morph ball. That means you can get back through early supers. A couple of things you can do. Oh, Eddie showing off some extreme tech. We gotta point this out. It's gonna be jump wiggling all the way in and out to keep this gravity suit.
Oh, yeah, the in and out. I don't know if he'll be particularly troubled if you were to look around a couple rooms and find morph ball, but at any rate, he gets the gravity suit, and if he a little smirk to himself if he can make it back out, and he sees morph ball 2 rooms later, I don't know if he'll be amused or annoyed.
I think he expects it to be right around the corner. If he does drop it, though, there's gonna be a huge time loss. Dropped his wiggle jumps.
Oh, there you go.
Nice, keep it.
And as he's going into early supers, he's saying it. I think he's saying it there. Morph. He's calling Morph right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it has to be like more for speed. Maybe
Yeah.
wave.
Not going to take a chance on those missiles though.
You'd have to re-wiggle for gravity.
Yeah. Or you could go back up and actually do the logic and get Morph and then go back and do gravity. But he's going to save and he might try to get those missiles right now, it looks like.
So I think getting the missiles is only a very hard trick, but he was fine doing the extreme trick.
Only the toughest for Eddie.
So we're into a new seed. We have Gravity Morph, low ammo once again. But start of a seed, you have to explore a lot to find what you can do. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on the left side of Brinstar here. Brinstar main shaft area. Or maybe wreck ship. As we find
I turned away for a second, Aussie. Did he get those missiles in early supers?
Yes. Oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
So Eddie gets power bombs. Tilimorf has reset gravity. Let's go get it again. I could get the missiles first and then get gravity. Because then
right, just to make sure. Yeah, just to make sure. Or he could probably... Did he get the save? He might go back and save and get it. So it's a little bit of a little slightly backwards, but as long as he can get these missiles. I know Tilimorf is well capable of being able to do that. Yeah, I think he's going to save first.
Yeah. And so here it's where it would just been better to get the missiles first. You wouldn't have to resave.
Yeah.
X-ray is our item behind Power Bomb. So with Morph and X-ray, you can do a snail clip if that comes up. I think that'd be the only use of it. Of X-ray right now. But Eddie gonna take a lead, largely off of Tilimorf missing the crumble, the quick drop.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be more logical missiles coming up here, and it's not going to be here.
Yeah. At some point, the Metroid rooms come to logic, if you can survive the room, but we're not there yet.
Nope. I feel it this time.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like, we know that he's confident in the trick, especially on the first try.
There we go.
Where he didn't get back out.
There we go. Mandatory spore spawn? No.
Oh. Yeah, I guess the logic could be that you get power bombs to get those missiles, and then do spore spawn.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's not too many other options.
Well, wait, was to Speed Hall, was there a pink door to Speed Hall, or was it just a blue door?
They don't have the health for Speed Hall.
Oh,
that's where that's where we got the power bombs.
Yeah. So right here. Yeah, so he's about to get power bombs right here. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to not get hit again.
Oh, and he does.
Oh.
Chat saying they can hear the hitbox buttons. I don't hear them.
So there is logic on the room Tilimorph's in, West Sand Hall, where you're just expected to get hit crossing the room, because everyone gets hit when they cross the sand room.
Right.
And where their health is low enough, I guess it could be possible that's not logic. I don't see what else there is to do, though.
Yeah, the options are sort of limited. It makes me feel like you have to cross here and just maybe you can collect some missiles. Maybe some missiles can help clear the path there for you, but
And that's just speaking for logic. Like, with power
oh,
bombs here,
okay.
you're just gonna do it until you get the item and back.
All right, so you can absorb one hit here. There we go.
Well, it's a heated room on Eddie's side. Could get through, but the issue is, what if there's nothing on the other side? Do you just take a reset at that point? That's why you have to
Yeah,
turn around and be safe.
gonna farm for more health here and give it a try, I think.
Yeah. So Eddie has supers now. That means more options. The E-Tank is also opening up options. So we're starting to build up resources. There it is. You can get out on like no E-Tanks. It's
Till
just
pick up,
very rare.
yeah. Tilimorf picked up X-ray. Just to answer N over there.
Yeah, we don't know what X-ray's for. I think the missiles are the progression on this stuff. And X-ray is just, like, not filler, but a fake progression. So
Though
far.
with gravity being early on, it could be somewhat possible, but yeah, I wouldn't bet on it being something you had to do. So unless Aqueduct shows up really soon, um, X-ray is just there for Eddie to showboat. Well, there's many opportunities for Eddie to showboat, um, as we've seen already with the wiggle for gravity.
Yeah, X-ray would be another way to do the wiggle tube without morph. So the gate that Tilimorf is going through is not in logic yet. You need 15 combined missiles or wave.
Even with those side hoppers for a possible farm.
Yeah, not good enough.
Okay.
So Tilimorf is out of logic here.
Yeah.
Oh. Not a great room to run into. Croc Speedway. It's a lot of heat. Could try to keep this second missile pack. Doesn't want to go through what the first seed was like again.
High five.
Interesting that Eddie's farming. Like, we know that a couple of heated rooms to the right. Well, he farmed one health drop. That's probably even more interesting. Go back for it. But you can tell that it connects to the top of Croc Speedway if you look at the map. It's just not going to show up on the mini-map until you pause.
And then he'll realize, oh, that's how it connects. So, yeah, he's ducking out, especially with only 50 health.
Tilimorf is playing Alice from Toho.
But yes, great skin, as I said before. That and the Link in the costume, probably two of my favorite ones. If you're talking about Samus specific sprites, for me, I personally like the transparent one with just the lines. I have to check out the pirate sprite. I have not seen that one yet. Eddie is not washed, but he is committing to this heated room. He wants to see the map, it looks like.
heading towards the map would be a good reason to go this way.
As long as there's not anything blocking him, like speed, should be good.
Decently far away. We see it's the water map.
This is about the time where you would see Ridley pop up.
So we're gonna get acid dive? No. It could be Big Ping.
Could it be
There's
side
only
hoppers?
so many.
Or do they?
It could be
Is
yoink.
side hoppers? Is side hopper still a? Nope. Yep, he can do that.
Yeah, it could have been side hoppers. I guess there's a bunch of caution doors that could have been.
Alright. What's gonna block him from the map?
Well, not ammo doors.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Tilimorf having trouble with. Oh, here we go. This could be.
Yeah, that's a block. Can't get through there.
This isn't really looking like one of those 30-minute no objective seeds.
No. But it could still end at any time.
Yeah, all you need is charge. Well, you would have to find it at this point. Charge, enough E-tanks. We haven't seen it. Did I just hear that from Eddie's
Yeah.
stream?
Yeah, that's Eddie having alerts on.
Eddie, you know the rules. Mute it.
We're on Eddie's audio so that we can listen to his hitbox taps. But it seems
This
he
might
also has
be
alerts
fine.
on.
Was the sound on for his first race?
At the start of the first race, his mic was on. I'm not sure if we cut to him after that.
Yeah, like N said, maybe we don't encourage them to spam, but we'll see if he turns it off eventually. I assume he's fairly locked in right now, though.
Yeah, usually you would let them know between races or before the races. It's in the rules document that he wrote.
That he wrote. Is this a heater? Oh. He's gonna have to reset. Luckily, there are no tournament organizers in this call right now.
I'm here encouraging it. Telling NN to switch to Eddie's audio.
You earned a bronze medal.
Yeah, we've made little progress in the last little bit. I thought it'd open up right away with the ammos and the E-tank, but nothing.
Right now, a lot of heated rooms just blocking things. It looks like Tilimorf did find another E-tank, so we'll see if that can give him the encouragement to explore other heated areas. But right now, neither the players nor the comms really know where the next step is here. Perhaps they can go up to Spore Spawn and do something there. At least the fans would enjoy that.
It could just be the second E-tank lets you do more deadly stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
We
We do have a map here. Ooh.
That was great.
Tilimorf not giving us a chance to really study the map, but I did see, I see you did see Kraid there. I saw a few extra majors there that might help him.
Yep, Kraid right in front of a major. And also another one right above. So Tilimorf heading to those two. That's all I could see in that quick moment.
Stop it. So for here, Eddie has to hope that this doesn't dead end or is an extra heated room because he might not be able to get back out if this were the case.
Yeah. Tilimorf needs more power bombs.
Oh, that is not good.
Okay. Oh, and it's a pink door.
Pause
If it wasn't
buffer?
a pink door, he could have made it in.
Yeah.
Tilimorf couldn't do the missile setup or the Normally everyone's gonna bomb jump over to the spot, but because it's custom sprite, you can't tell too well where the spot is.
Yeah,
It's a
if
nice
you're
power bomb refill. More heat. More resets. So this means that Tilimorf kind of taking a lead here in game 2.
yeah, just by virtue of obviously the bosses aren't required, but it did open up a major for him, and he does have Norfair knowledge. I didn't see what the connectors were to other areas through Norfair, but Tilimorf is just going solid dot hunting. Is that Mother Brain on the left there that I saw? I only
I'm
saw
looking
it.
at the left.
There it
Yep,
is.
there it is.
Yeah, so Norfair seems to be the central hub. There was Criteria and Turian. Um, Depending on what he might find with these majors, you get Varia in charge and one more E-Tank. I think you're good to go, although you're looking at a very long fight.
So Tilimorf didn't have any power bombs. Looking at Eddie's screen here, there's a Terminator Major.
Oh,
Tilimorf didn't have the power bombs to get to that. And if Eddie goes that way, it'd take all of his power bombs just to get out of Terminator.
he's
So that
electing
might
not
be
to.
the idea with the reset, is to save a
Oh,
power bomb.
I see. Yeah, because there wasn't an imminent power bomb farm down there, it looked like.
Yeah. Tilimorf had 0 getting into Kraid, and then Kraid was the power bomb refill.
Okay.
Very difficult going through Metroids 4 without getting grabbed. But Eddie does it. So Eddie's gonna have this Terminator Major, and Tilimorf is gonna be ahead positionally and up the 1E tank.
Grapple.
Grapple will be good for Tilimorf.
Oh, it's charge.
Charge. Well. So charge means that he pretty much needs slightly more ammo and I guess a fair amount of health still.
Yeah, still need about 5 more, but I hope for Tilimorph's sake that if he's scrounging for majors that he does go back to Terminator, but I don't know where he is relative. He looks like he's going to Big Pink to pick some up some more dots. Charge only Mother Brain. How many shots? We'll have to get the mathematicians out for that one, but it's more than a few, that's for sure. Oh, data plet with the data there.
What? Data plot with the data. But yeah, I guess Wave Beam Spazer is also up here.
Okay, yeah. So with those, then that's obviously not a that shortens the equation a lot.
Doesn't seem to be going for a space jump. Once you get charged, you just feel really close to the end of the seed.
Yeah.
Getting the E-tanks could take a while.
I don't know if Eddie's philosophy here will be to really look out for solid dots in the hopes that he gets Varia, which will cut his energy tank hunting in half. But interested to see what his route is here, other than just probably looking for. I guess he's just gonna go look for majors.
Yeah. So I guess for beam damage, once you get wave, you don't really need anything else. Because like looking for beams takes time to do. And wave is strong enough that you don't really need anything else.
So he's gonna go try to get. He's gonna get space. Plaid is asking if they know where Criteria is. It does. It is next or adjacent to Norfair on the east side.
Get baby room into a heated room. Pretty rude.
When Tilimorf reset, did he lose space jump?
The way that we're in Brinstar, it seems bad. really didn't have a save at any point. The looks of it is on
Yeah,
basic
that's.
beam. So that's a sign.
Oh,
Well, you're
oh,
gonna
he
get
has a second
charged
chance
this
here.
way.
Yes.
So it's
Oh,
really
so it was a
good.
heated. Sorry, it was a heated room after baby.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
baby drain put him at 1 and then
yeah.
just stepped in the heat and died. Does pick up the charge beam, but now it's Eddie who's ahead with all the extra majors and closer to the end of the game.
Yep. He's about to get Spazer here. Yeah, at this point, I think Eddie's got to be E-tank hunting. If Mama Turtle has 2 hollow dots there, so maybe he's gonna go ahead over there.
Yep. Mama Turtle has 2, Climb Supers has 1, and then Spore Spawn Supers is a speed locked one. But you could X-ray climb back up from that. If you really wanted it. A save. Why would you save here?
I figure maybe you got to save it up, save every opportunity you can. Tilimorf probably wishing he'd saved earlier.
True enough.
Got Nat with a good observation there. He did want to. He was looking to see if he could find something better in another area, but he felt, committing to the new area blindly with the baby there and the heated mess. Just unfortunate decision for him. And like Ossie's saying, Eddie, who's currently in the driver's seat here. But if Tilimorf does find Varia somehow while Eddie's on a hunt for more hollow dots, that's probably the way for Tilimorf to get back into this. But then you're talking about going blindly into new zones again.
It's gonna mostly come down to which zone they pick. More E-tanks right now does improve your ability to explore. Because it looks like you can't just stay in Norfair right now. You have to go to one of these new zones.
Yeah, I figure at criteria at least you'll have a better idea of where the ship might be for your escape. So I think that might be his philosophy, though I know Eddie does like to blind the ship sometimes. I just think it makes too much sense. He's close to it anyway, might as well go for it and see what he can find.
Yeah. That's certainly a good reason to go criteria. I wouldn't have
Chip.
minded whatever is off of Big Pink. Like, get the 2 E-tanks that are over there.
Yeah, that's true too. He's a couple. Oh, nice. I was about to say he's a couple of heated rooms in a row away from having to reset. Supers. Looks like he's just bailing.
Yep, chat was counting hollow
Yeah,
dots.
so 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be it. But you said one is speed lock.
Yeah.
Wait, where?
So is he gonna do the X-ray climb? No. Like a 5-minute X-ray climb.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tickles, no X-ray climb. It looks like. Yeah, it would lose a tremendous amount of time, but think of the memes, Oh, yeah, Tilimorf is 0 power bombed right now.
Oh. I mean, there's Chronic Room, not too far back. But it's not like you feel too good going through key stairs either with that area.
Yeah. Speaking of power bombs.
That's what Eddie wants right now. More power bombs. Item room.
There were missiles.
Yeah, running out of power bombs, Tilimorf's side. Turning into a lot of time loss. Having to cross through all these rooms twice now.
Yeah, so in a sense, it might be good that Eddie has some power bombs to help him for situations to get him out of things like what Tilimorf just did. Surely one of these is an E-tank. Bubble Mountain was missiles. Eddie did a peek. Speaking of missiles. Yeah, if I'm Tilimorf too, I think I have to go. I have to just start E-tank hunting as well. These rooms are killing.
Tilimorf good enough to also just do the minimum health, like charge wave spacer fight. But that's why we're leaving Norfair. We need to reach that minimum health. Find more E-tanks somewhere. And then you know that like, you're playing no objectives. Like the mode's like feels like it's all about randomness, like randomly running into the right path.
Yeah.
And both of them are just spending a lot of time, not making great progress. And there were a lot of options in Norfair as to what you could do. So you just have to hope that your opponent didn't pick a better choice.
I'm wondering if that's what both of them are thinking right now. I mean, it's quite the speed, yeah.
Like earlier on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, ice and E-tank.
Yeah.
Nice. Damage, Zeb skip, and the E-tank he needed.
That might put him through. I think he might return to Norfair after this.
That's what I'd expect to see. Although, I don't think he knows about the ship yet. And if he could confirm that, it'd be good to do that before leaving.
I think so too, but I think he probably... It's got to be somewhere on the right towards the map. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the bottom left of crash site. If the map's at bottom left crash site, but I guess we'll wait and see when they do their escape.
Yeah. So right now Eddie's going to go around and pick up all the available E-tanks. There's the two at Mama Turtle, and then this one at Climb Supers. There's some heat on the way to Mother Brain, but there's probably a farm room in between. And then just gonna finish it out from there. Tilimorf a little farther away. Yeah, both of them in the seed did have some troubles. Eddie spent a very long time before coming up to Norfair. Tilimorf got here first, but then Tilimorf took multiple deaths, multiple resets entering Norfair, and then also took the big reset that put him behind. That's when he died to the baby Metroid, got drained and then went to a heated room.
Yeah. Ooh. He's trying to check out the Brinstar map, I'm sure, too, and as we saw with Eddie, that's just not going to work out with two E-tanks.
Yeah, I think we saw Eddie doing this Spire Brimstone earlier on.
Yeah. When he got to worst room in the game, he just said no way and just bailed. This is, I think, if you were to blue gate that, I believe that's a save. Does he have space? Does Tilimorf have space right now?
Did he just take a death? Yeah, he's out of items.
And charge?
Died
Oh, he
Metroid.
died of Metro.
That's on the way
So he
back.
lost. So he lost
Okay.
charge and
Charge wave
space.
and space.
That's not good. And what's not good here is he's about to go in this room and see a save.
Wow. After taking 2 really big deaths, you kind of feel like it's over.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was doing a rando. I think I was just redoing a rando that was run recently. It was a double suit. And Metroid Room 4 can be a pain when you're going
Absolutely.
down.
When
All
you're
I had
going
was
down.
super. Yeah, when going down, actually, with no morph. And obviously, situations are a little bit different, right? We have morph here, but it just made me think of how difficult that can be, even if you have suits on. So I think 4 is the toughest room, like in general, to get through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 down without morph. It's very interesting just figuring out how to come up with damageless strats.
Yeah, I had to do. It was super missile door. There's a green door at the bottom, and all I had was super missiles. And if you get attacked by the Metroids, you can't even. It's hard to get a super missile fired off. So you just die. Of course, it could just be a skill issue on my part, but there's. Can we get through here? All right. Tickle says, "I'd be tempted to kill the Zebs and go ahead from behind on Mother Brain because there is a farm room nearby."
We'll see what his resources look like when he gets some other brain. This is currently not enough health and will need a farm run. That is the worst room that has enemies who technically give drops.
Oh yeah, you'll get like what? Maybe a small. So yeah, I think he's obviously going to.
Oh, interesting.
Is
So
he
he's
gonna
gonna break the
break
glass and
the
then kill the Zeb in the
come
wall.
back? But if he does that, then he'll have to do a Zeb skip again, I believe.
He'll come at from the other side.
Oh, okay.
As
So he
chat was
can.
saying. So with the glass
That's right,
broken,
that's
you
right.
can start the fight from the left door.
That's right. He's going to go from the left side. Don't get yoinked.
You can get a save here. Very nice
Yeah.
safety refill room.
Almost as if it was meant for someone to break the glass and then come through the backside.
It looks like it. Now, please learned how to not get stuck in the wall, as has happened to Eddie recently when doing Mother Brain from the back. Yeah, so here it is. It's usually done with 5 supers, just to end the Mother Brain 1 part very quickly. You have to deal with the acid.
Yeah, Oates is wondering. I mean, he's still on manual reserve right now.
No. Eddie? No, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't forget anything.
He doesn't get locked while doing.
Number one seed.
Yeah, he never gets locked doing Brainbuster. He doesn't.
He's never been stuck in a wall, no.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's not going to. It's not going. I don't think it's going to affect the outcome, just by virtue of how far ahead he is. But it would make for an entertaining scenario if this were to happen. I think he'll do it. I think he knows. Oh, see.
He remembered.
He didn't want the chat to be spammed with nice throw and so on and so forth. But Howard Eddie is Oates.
Can't even pause abuse Rainbow Beam.
No.
That's what Oates would do.
$2.15. Oh, $2.30.
Pretty close.
So there is a little more discovery he has to do with the ship, but my guess is that the map is the southwest room of crash site. So I do think he's probably going to get it first time.
Yeah, I think the map is close enough wherever the ship is that you
Yeah.
can just get the map and continue on.
Mr. Crimson, that's his Asian gene kicking in. Well, no one informed me of mine, so. Yeah, so, I mean, to sort of summarize this run, I think it was a slow start for both. Eddie was just able to get out of it sooner, and Tilimorf really having trouble with the Metroid room several times, which really slowed his progress down. And if Wick's fan were here, he would say save early, save often, and I think that just was too much for Tilimorf to overcome, unfortunately, because for a while he was what you would consider in the lead, having more map knowledge, having more solid items, solid dots, and it just didn't turn out that way, unfortunately for him.
I guess it's hard to know if Tilimorf was like, truly in the lead because of the charge find.
Right.
Either way, the biggest thing that happened in the seed is the giant resets that Tilimorf took.
Yeah. Flat. Good lord.
It's a long warfare.
Yeah, lots of rooms to get through. Alright.
It's the high five.
I'm also going to guess that Fantoon was on the Fantoon is in criteria, but I don't think we'll ever know.
But I think the play is to head towards the map.
Yeah, at the very least, if you don't get to the ship, you can get to the map and you'll be able to at least see where the ship is on your next run.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be here right after this room. It'll be top left. Nope, darn.
Got the toilet in the background.
Yeah, so maybe it's
There's
not
a lot
right.
of criteria here.
Okay, so that is not ship. So, can he actually get the map here? Even though... Yeah, because it assumes that Fantoon has died.
Yeah, every event flag is set in the escape. That's why like Spore Spawn's dead and Croc is dead. Tube's broken.
Oh, there he goes. He's going to do a reset here.
Eddie failing the escape. Gonna have to run it back. Giant time loss in this head-to-head 1v1 Tilimorf. Tilimorf, very strong player, of course.
Speaking of the tube, imagine throwing an escape. Yeah.
He's got this time for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if Eddie thinks that Tilimorf is close as well.
Probably.
Yeah, it'd be nice to at least see him sweat a little bit.
Like, I don't think the scene seems too complicated from Eddie's point of view. He was just looking for E-tanks for 10 minutes.
Yeah, once they got through that, like I said, once they got through that initial fumbling around in Brinstar, you know, they did have to kind of blind their way towards the other areas because they just couldn't get to the Brinstar map, which you feel at the very least you wish you could at least get the map of the first area you're in to kind of set you up. But once he got to Norfair and, you know, the map was easy to get there, it was pretty smooth sailing for him
You
after
earned a
that.
bronze medal. Nice throw.
Bronze medal. How does he do it? Wait to your runners.
Only Eddie could get a bronze medal with 2 runners.
Rip Bozo, you con man, you fraud. You cheated people, you stole from people, and now you're going to jail. Nice throw.
3 more rounds. And this will be it for
Wow.
the winners round 3 match. Eddie and Tilimorf. Tilimorf going to be taking the first loss. Going to be sent to the loser bracket. So it's still in the gold bracket. Just as taking the 1 loss that you're allowed. And there's Eddie on the ship. So GG to the winner.
And of course, chat is calling for a DQ, but good game regardless for both Eddie and Tilimorf.
Yep. You'll have to convince Eddie to assign the DQ.
Yeah. DQ'd, but GG.
GG, I guess.
Yeah. Will you be? I guess we'll get them on comms here in a second. Get their input on the matches that they've just played.
See that his own chat's more important than SpeedGaming chat.
Oh, expected. Okay, it looks like they are in the setup page, so we'll go join them over there, right?
They'll join us.
Oh, they'll join us. Okay.
Yeah. We're the ones who are live.
Right. Bush Camper saying, are there more sets after this? Or if you're referring to other races, if I can pull up the schedule really quickly, we have nothing until 7 p.m. Eastern time when Chozo Bozo and Beardness take on each other in the losers bracket on Speed Gaming 2. Wixfan will be doing comms for that. And of course, NN, our resident tracker, will be there as well.
Yep. And with that covered, we are joined by Eddie and Tilimorf here in the live on air channel. GG to both of you.
GG. Sorry about
Yeah,
the
GG.
apparently my alerts were coming through. I thought I had that all muted. I couldn't hear them, so I was just locked in. But apparently they were coming through.
No, we were on you just for the hitbox taps and then suddenly alerts.
Okay, must have had the audio off me pretty quick after that.
Yeah. GT.
Chat calling for TQs, but obviously a very impressive performance here, especially after the first few minutes. It seemed like it was a little bit of slow going from both parties here, as you guys, or for the most part, blinding Brinstar, unable to get the map. Can you guys take us through a little bit of what went on through your heads there? Oh, Eddie going for a wiggle early on instead of looking to the next room for Morph, which is always nice to see. But yeah, a little bit of struggle there in the beginning. Both, if you guys wanted to maybe start with Eddie, go on how your start was.
So I learned something from Aussie regarding the start of that last one, where if you just go like an inch into the hole, you actually can see what kind of item it is. You get the map tile. I actually saw Aussie do that, so I stole that from him. And then I saw it was a major. And then I started laughing because I was thinking in my head, like, well, Morph is going to get us this item. But I'm like, you know what? I should just do it. And then I saw gravity and it cracked me up. But I already had, I think at this point I knew the top right room was water. And so, like, it basically means you go left, you're going to get Morph, like, instantly. But I'm pretty fast at it. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just do it. It's fun. So did it. And then immediately got Morph as expected.
And I think we saw you mouthing Morph as you entered early supers, which you called your shot there. So
yeah, it basically had to be. There was nothing else. I don't think it could be anything else. I think it has to be exactly Morph there. I could be wrong, but
speed.
That's true. It could be speed, and then that's how you get out. No, it can't be speed.
Right.
Oh, it could be speed so that you can continue to the. No.
Just continue left.
Yeah, continue left and then you get out. Okay, that's true. Yeah, but given that gravity's right there, it seems a little bit more likely. Like there's more permutations of it end up being Morph probably, but yeah. Either way, it was just for fun. I just thought, why not? But yeah, I'm actually wondering, Tilly, if you had trouble. Obviously, you said you shambled a lot in this race, but the answer, at least I think, was to just eventually go back to wreck ship after getting supers and stuff. But I kind of cleared out and blind checked everything on the right, and it was just really bad. Did you end up doing the same thing and finding like worst room in the game?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah.
I was feeling pretty good about midway when I found charge, but like I had afterwards went left and found heated room after heated room after heated room and just died like 6 times.
Yeah.
With no saves. So it kind of threw me back like a lot.
If I remember correctly, did we have to go through was it logic to go through the Metroid room at the top with gravity and a tank? Was that the logic? I think I was like thinking about that at the time. I know if you have enough like sustain, you can go through the Metroid rooms logically. So there's a weird instance where if you have like a suit and you have like enough health, like you can kind of get through there, even though typically we just never assume it's in logic. But that kind of was what it seemed like, unless I missed an E-tank somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Tilimorf did have a second E-tank.
Okay, so there was a second E-tank. Okay.
I don't remember where I got it, but yeah, I had to.
Were you at least at the point where you were essentially just like mother brain go mode? You just needed the health?
Well, with charge, yeah.
Okay.
And then he had, I believe, at a point you had wave and spazer as well, Tilimorf.
Yes.
Yeah. So at that point, you're E-tank hunting, and I don't think you could have got everything you needed in Norfair for those E-tanks, which is why I think Eddie went to Criteria to kind of look around for more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the E-tanks, even if you don't get them all in Norfair, probably would have been good for the heated rooms that you'd encounter elsewhere throughout the map, because it just seemed you kept getting punished wherever you went. Heated room, and the heated room after baby, that was also unfortunate too. So.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
So you went into Northfield for that?
Turian, I believe.
Turian. Okay, so you were by Mother Brain. So did you collect all the E-tanks that you could, and then you went into Turian?
No, I kind of skipped all these tanks and just trudged on
Oh,
ahead, hoping.
okay. Were you like looking for Varya, I guess, or something?
Yeah.
Okay. That was once you get that map. I admittedly, when I first got that map, I didn't scroll far enough left to see Mother Brain. But then after I got the spring ball, I paused and I'm like, oh, Mother Brain's here. So then I started thinking like, I just need health. And then I counted all the E-tanks and I'm like, okay, this should get me to 6. And then I realized there was one that was speed locked. I guess theoretically I could have done a 7-room X-ray climb to keep that one. But
Yeah.
I counted the E-tanks. I'm like, we don't have enough, right? So, I was thinking like, do I keep the spring ball? I realized that was all unimportant. All I needed was to find one more E-tank, essentially. Or 2 more, I guess. I can't remember the count exactly. But I remember I found one and it wasn't enough off the top of my head. I think it's because we had 5 and then we would have had 5 if we collected all the ones that were in where Mother Brain was. But I found one instantly in Criteria because it was West Ocean, and I felt really good about that. But I realized I needed one more, and that's when it gets really stressful, right? Because I thought about what if I got the tanks and then I went to Turian instead, because Turian is near Mother Brain, and then Turian has 2 entrances that kind of spit you out, and you stay close to Mother Brain, sort of. Whereas every step I take in Criteria, I knew I'm going further and further away, so it's like essentially doubles the distance. So I was kind of getting scared about my choice for Criteria, but my last E-tank came with Ice Beam, which was extremely nice. It was at the Green Pirate Shaft, but the reason I went to Criteria is because I did have a save. Like, proximity-wise, it didn't look like I was close, but nothing else mattered other than me resetting and getting as close to a zone as possible. So I had a save that was right by Criteria. And I decided to just go check Criteria of the other wings because it has the double purpose of if you explore it, you might be able to find the ship and that might help you. So that's kind of the idea behind that.
Yeah, I think that's what Aussie and I were talking about. At the very least, well, it's a bigger map than Turian, even if you are kind of getting it farther away. But at the very least, you're covering a lot of ground, so you have less tiles to look for the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Because I won't have to pause and stuff like that. It kind of didn't matter because I was going to have to do it in 2 tries anyway, given where the ship was, which kind of sucked. But that was the idea behind that. I think Turian is like the really aggressive. You collect all the E-tanks, go to Turian is like the really aggressive play. But if you strike out on that, you're in really, really, really big trouble, I think. So I was kind of, I thought the Criteria play was maybe like the most kind of like best of all worlds sort of situation, even though I'm going further away from Mother Brain. So that was the idea, at least.
Yeah,
and you were sort of close. Go ahead.
The reset got me. I knew with the reset I would be very close to Criteria, so that was probably the biggest reason. I was like, this is the closest way to get to another region if I reset right here.
Yeah, it was definitely better than Turian.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to Turian then. I was a little spooked. It looks like Tilly didn't have a good time there.
No,
yeah, I just found all the heated rooms.
Oh.
Like key hunters into Wasteland and then maybe into Rock Escape.
Oh god, that's no good. How was the first game? I don't think we even like talked about that one at all. Like I have no idea like what the situation was in the first game at all.
Yeah, Aussie, could you elaborate? Because I wasn't there for the first one.
Was in the early game mostly. Tilimorf spent just ages on the 1 missile pack and not making any progress. And Eddie ran into like power bombs and eventually supers just so much faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Meridia first, and I found Mother Brain and Wave.
Oh.
I was still only 5 missiles, and then there was the other major that was Fantoon locked.
Yeah,
and I
found
all that.
Oh, but
it did you? Really good to know.
Oh, so you didn't know about the charge?
No,
that was charge. Oh
yeah,
man,
I kind of figured about when I was heading to Mother Brain that it was probably charged.
Okay, I I got nervous when I saw that because I got to Mother Brain 70-20 and I'm like, I need one more super pack. So I pause and I see Mother Brain because I did everything and I'm finishing at the top, right, which is ideal. But I have 70-20 at this point, and I'm like, I should be able to just find another super or scrounge up at least a few more missile packs if I really have to. And then I saw the map. I saw 4 dots, not enough missiles to really reasonably kill Mother Brain from myself. And then I saw 2 majors, and I'm like, please, just let one of these be charged. I got a little nervous because I thought going up would be bad first, but if you got charged fast, that would be like extremely good because I collected so much ammo, but if you miss that, that seems pretty devastating. I didn't realize those Phantom Lock didn't occur to me, I guess.
Yeah, it was the right side super wreck ship room.
Yeah, okay. That's rough.
But
okay.
yeah, I found all that before supers or power bombs.
Oh man,
But
that's rough.
other than scouting Meridia first, I did feel like I played the first game really well.
Okay.
I was on my way to Mother Brain when you finished.
Yeah, I feel like finding what we needed to progress, like resource, not even like the majors, but resource-wise was really hard on both of these. The resources were kind of like not in great spots. Like we got like super locked like pretty hard like in this one, didn't we? I think. At least until we found the back of high jump room behind Sportsmon essentially. But yeah, it felt kind of like spooky, almost slightly like almost like a challenge seed where you tend to get resource gated a little bit. But I'm just used to finding like all the resources we need like early, and then we just kind of progress as we do. But the early game was kind of difficult for both of these seeds, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely had trouble in this second seed early game.
Yeah, you guys both got the first missiles at the early supers room, right?
I think we broke that out of logic because I think we did the crumble fall. So I was keeping that in mind.
Yep.
I thought I was
Get the power
maybe
bomb first, then get it.
Yeah, so the power bomb was behind the autologic missiles, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a pink door. I'm trying to remember if it was a pink door.
Yeah,
so that makes
I got
me
my
wonder
power bombs
where.
behind the pink door.
So that makes me wonder where the logic missiles were.
I believe
case,
it was
I don't
the
know.
supers at the top of the fishbowl. And
Oh, okay. Yeah,
cargo
there are
room.
supers there.
There were supers
Okay.
and power bombs.
Was this is game 1, right?
No,
Game two.
Game 2. So logical missiles were apparently
Yeah, data plet saying supers above fishbowl.
Yeah, because it was the fishbowl that we had
Yeah.
gravity for, and then the Kago room
Yeah.
and
Okay.
supers and power bombs.
Yes, those are the yeah. The one that was like sports one was the left door, top right was a door that led us to the high jump boots room.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, well that's the mystery solved there. We did for a second. I was like, wait, that can't be in hard, is it? It's not. Anyway, they're changing. You know, the logic is changing, but people here higher than me know what the logics are. So
You want to
Good to
unlock
know
the
that.
spoiler log, Tilly? We could take a peek, take a gander.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
one moment.
that's what I thought, and then very hard. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions, Aussie? Or
No questions from me.
any other final words from you guys, from the competitors?
Yeah. So Tilly, what were your? I'm actually curious. So, do you like no objectives, or did you just not want to play the other one?
I do like no objectives. I felt it was probably my best chance at beating you since it's so swingy,
Chaotic.
I guess.
Yeah.
You can pick the right way and just win.
Yeah.
But double suit is actually my favorite, so I was hoping to get to game 3 and play that.
Okay.
But yeah, I was I picked it because I felt it was probably my best chance to beat you.
I see. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like once I saw the situation we were in with the like there's Mother Brain and then it's like how do you kill Mother Brain? I was getting kind of nervous because it's kind of like ooh, like you know you can make the best choice you can, but you know you went to Turian, right? Like I could have just gone to Criteria and just died, and you could have just like instantly spiked Varia, right? And that could have worked out that way, right? The best is when it's like even, right? Like maybe I find a few tanks there and then you find Varia after a little bit of a trek. That would have been pretty cool, but
It's before,
oh my
but it
gosh.
definitely did not work out.
Okay, hey, we got the spoiler log open, right?
Yeah,
so I assume
I
you never got
it.
you did you so you wait.
Where's Varia?
Do you see where Varia wait, Tilly, what happened? How did you so you went to did you go through Turian through East Cack Alley?
I remember
Yes.
East Cack Alley being up there, so he's.
Oh my gosh. Don't look at the spoiler log, Tilly. Look at That's crazy. I'm not sure if you see.
I'm escaping real quick.
Oh, you're in the escape.
I was gonna
Okay.
finish real fast.
Okay. So according to the spoiler log, there's another way to get to Turian, which is, you know, if you go behind Mother Brain, right?
Right.
And if you can get through the Acid Snakes tunnel, which is just it's a farm room, right? You go into Parlor, and then one of the rooms in Parlor has its watering hole. It has Varia and Plasma. It's right there.
Oh.
It's 3 rooms from the entrance.
So
That's
you
just
could,
completely game over if that's the case. I just get destroyed.
Yeah, if there's if he picks up a couple energy tanks in Norfair, because I think he had 1 or 2 on the way. I mean that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, if you didn't have the E tanks, you after you get the Varia and Plasma, you're not that far from the map from East Ocean, and there's 2 tanks along the way there. So literally everything that you need at the end of the game is right there at the back of Turian. That's kind of crazy.
I could have potentially gotten that. That's frustrating because I went through Red Key Hunter Shaft down to Wasteland.
Yeah.
And I had 2 power bombs, but I only had like at the time I only had 2 E tanks when I entered Red Key Hunter Shaft. So I entered Wasteland and reset.
No way.
Like
So Wasteland
1.5 E tanks.
Wasteland gets you into Parlor. And Parlor is, you know, has the things. Oh man, and then you can come back through the easy way. It takes you right to Mother Brain.
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh, that's so.
Nice.
Man, in a different world.
You would have killed me. You would have destroyed me. I think it would have been very one-sided if you could. If you made it. That's crazy.
You might have to take 2 runs at looking for the ship, but I mean.
Yeah, I had to do it too anyway. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, so this game was like really close. Actually, it looks like.
A lot of the time, just by running this, it's a lot of the times, you know, when you're you're watching this on Restream, you look and they take 1 left turn instead of going right. Something as simple as like Parlor or Business Center, and that's the difference. That's the difference right there.
That was definitely the difference here.
Yeah. So there's Turian right there. I see Parlor. Yeah. There's the double right there. Plasma.
Holy cow.
And Varia.
Okay, I was extremely close to losing then. It was just I did think like what if we go to because Turian, the proximity is so close to Mother Brain, right? And I'm just going so far away from Mother Brain every step I take from Criteria because I'm going the map extends right. And I know that if you explore Turian, like there's a way either entrance you take, like you're going to be close in proximity, so you know it like loops back in a nice way. So I really did think about like collecting the E-tanks, going to Turian and doing that, but
though looking at the map, so if he's not going through East Cack Alley, he's going through the Mother Brain way because he doesn't have enough E-tanks, I think, for Wasteland and the Key Hunter Shaft.
Yeah,
he might have run out of energy. I mean, there's the farm there right behind Mother Brain, and
if Tilly can get behind Mother Brain, it's game over. And I got through there with very little health because you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah,
they're not the hardest hell runs, I think. So
I thought of doing that direction first, but I only had 2 E tanks, and I got to Chronic Boost Room and then into Single Chamber and was like, nah, I'm not going to make it, and backed out and went the other direction, East Cack Alley, Baby Crade, then yeah.
Oh,
So it was close, but
it was close. It was really
I didn't
close.
trust that I could do that hell run on 2E.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, Dataplet saying 2+1. Yeah, so 2+1 could have done it, I believe.
Oh man, yeah. So the realistic truth is, I was like extremely close to losing. Like, I would have gotten smoked if that happened. So
Yeah.
pretty cool actually.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if that makes you feel any better, but good game. Good job on finishing regardless. Thank you guys for entertaining races. I wasn't there to see most of the first one, but I heard it was a good one there too. So best of luck in your guys' next matchup.